All right, guys, this story is coming out of Minnesota. So this story is going to definitely have some rough details. So before we even get into anything, let me give you guys the disclaimer before we talk about the people that you see on my screen, that this story is going to have some content that you might find offensive or controversial. The information is coming from many different sources. My video commentary is also going to have my thoughts and opinions about the facts. I'm using this as a cautionary tale in hopes that this type of tragedy doesn't happen again. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So let me show you guys the person that we're going to be mainly discussing right here. I got to tell y'all, this picture is very nice. It's a very nice picture. Very beautiful woman. I can't even deny that. Can't deny it. See if I can go back real quick. But it's hard to really say because you can't, it's hard to judge a book by its cover sometimes. Very pretty girl. That doesn't mean that she's going to be a good mother or a good wife at all. So this is the mother with her husband who is now deceased. He ended up taking his life, but I'll tell you guys the story and tell y'all what happened to these children. So police found the body of a Minnesota woman believed to have committed suicide with all three of her children after she found her husband had reportedly killed himself by way of suicide. And I'm getting this article from dailymail.com, so Daily Mail, thank you for the article. The Vietnamese community Maplewood has been sent in an uproar over the incident, with family and friends identifying the woman as Molly Cheng, Cheng, 23 years young. That's relatively young. She's a tattoo and beauty artist in the area. Ramsey County Undersheriff Mike Martin said that one of the children's bodies were found on Friday evening, with the body of the other two and the mom recovered by Saturday morning. Police said that all the kids, 2 boys and 1 girl, were all younger than 5 years old. And those are those babies right there. I don't know if y'all can see that picture. If I need to make it a little bit bigger, I think I can pay some respects to the kids. Let's see, let me get a... They didn't have a lot of clean pictures of them. I was able to find this one right here. Beautiful little kids, man. Beautiful little kids. I was also able to find this one. And it's just, you look at their faces and you ask, based on what they understand that the mother caused these children's death, what could have been going on so bad that you would want to hurt your children? It's just, man, it's just really, really sad. But let me tell the story. Ramsey County Undersheriff Mike Martin said that one of the children's bodies were found on Friday evening with the body of the other two and the mom recovered by Saturday morning. Police said that all the kids, 2 boys and 1 girl, were all under the age of 5 years old. The husband, who has only been named as KOS or KOS by his sister, Pa Lee, or P.A. Lee, L-E-E, who shared news of her sibling's tragic death on Facebook. Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher said police are treating this as a potential triple homicide here at Lake Vadnais, V-A-D-N-A-I-S. Vadnais. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not going to try. Let's keep going. A Maplewood Police Department spokesman said that around 4 p.m. on July the 1st, about 11 days ago, authorities were called to the lake as getting a report about a possibly suicidal mother who was on her way there with her children. So somebody suspected or heard something, called the police, which they did the right thing, but how much more time did they know about this? But you still really can't have, you really probably couldn't have been able to stop the mother for what she was going to do, but at least somebody heard something and they did at least reach out to the police. But Fletcher said that investigators determined that the children went into the water with their mother in an apparent murder-suicide as the children's shoes and the mother's car was found close to the water. Police were able to track her cell phone to that location. Martin said that the first child's body was recovered at around 7:30 p.m. with a team of more than 20 law enforcement agents working through the night to uncover the body of the second child. By 10:40 a.m. on Saturday, police were able to recover the mother's body, and by 11 a.m., they found the third child. Our goal was to find the children and the mother and return them to their families, Martin said. Our hearts go out to the families and their friends. I've been in this 32 years, and this is the most difficult case, Commander Eric Brent added about leading this search. Officials confirmed that the horror unfolding at the lake is related to a suicide at Rolling Hills Estate Mobile Home Park earlier in the day. The man who committed suicide at the trailer park is the children's father and the husband to the woman. The sister of the children's father wrote on Facebook on the morning of the suicide, "Forever, goodbye, my nicest brother. Why are you making me so mad and sad at the same moment? I'm sorry that I'm 20 minutes late and cannot help you." She added, "I drive so fast to help you and to stop you, but I still failed. I'm sorry that I failed you in this life and was late to help you. If only I was faster, then you would be alive." I don't really know what any of that means. The father is identified in several social media posts as KOS by his sister, who posted a video showing large members of the Hmong community surrounding the lake staying close to the police as the search continued into the night. In a series of videos that were posted by family members, investigators revealed that the children's father committed suicide in his bedroom while wearing pajamas. I don't know why they needed to specify that. One of the videos shows the bedroom to be ransacked. A family member suggests that the father owned more than one gun and that he used the bigger one to take his own life. The Twin Cities area is home to the largest concentration of Hmong people in the United States. And again, that word Hmong or Hmong is Hmong. That's the way it's spelled. They are the largest concentration of those people in the United States, with more than 66,000 calling the area home. Here's where I think the commentary might get a little bit difficult. And some of y'all might actually hate me for what I'm getting ready to say, but y'all know I got to say what I got to say. So here it is. I know the people are mourning this because not only are they a part of their community, they've probably watched these two young people grow up and start a family, and you think that they're going to just raise these children, they're going to end up being productive members of society and continue to grow their community. So for something like this to hit them is very, very, hard to deal with. Very tragic. I get that part about it. But for them to make it seem like this was a good mother and a good father and all of that good stuff, like, I don't know what made this man want to take his life the way that he did. If you ask me, I know that, a lot of us have dealt with some depression. I know a lot of us have dealt with suicidal thoughts. I've dealt with some of this type of stuff. But I think that suicide is probably the most selfish thing that you can do, is end your own life. It's a very selfish thing to do. That's first and foremost. Yes, what I'm saying, what the father did was selfish. I think suicide is selfish. Second thing I want to say is for the people that are in these videos and in their community that are saying that these were good parents, this is a good mother. If you ask me, I kind of disagree with that. That's why I disagree. That's why I step in and give my little bit of a difference of opinion. Because if y'all are going through something, then y'all go deal what y'all gotta go do and go deal with it. But why involve your children? Why drag your children into this? Why drag your children into that lake and then submerge them and kill them before you take your own life? I'm going to just take us all out. Leave the children. I'm pretty sure those children would have been perfectly fine with the rest of their community to be raised by someone else within their community if y'all were feeling suicidal thoughts. I know that's probably a hard thing for people to hear me say, but I still will never be down with the idea of hurting innocent children. They can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves. They can't make the decision for themselves. I think that these parents were selfish. And let me tell y'all how big of an asshole that I am. I don't know how to speak the Hmong language. I actually looked it up. I tried to type it in on Google Translate. I hate that I'm even telling y'all this. I really do. I typed in on Google Translate Hmong, and I wanted it to translate, "This is not a good mother. She killed her children." Because what I wanted to do, because maybe some of those people don't understand English, I wanted to make sure and tell them in their own language that she is not a good mother, she is a horrible person, and she murdered her children. And I was going to say it in the Hmong language, but I can't pronounce it. And Google Translate didn't actually, when I clicked the button for it to show me how to pronounce it, it didn't show me how because it couldn't, because the way that you... I'm sorry, y'all. I know some of y'all, I'm pretty sure about 250 people probably just unsubscribed. I'm so sorry. I'm just being real. Just being real. But the Hmong language, from what I understand, is a like how do they say it? Their language, I forget how they say it. It's like based on sounds, and how you say certain words can mean certain things depending on how you phonetically say it. Like it's got like, I think they said like 7 sounds or 8 sounds or something like that. I forget how you say it. Yes, I was going to talk crap about this woman in their language. Because when you look, guys, y'all got to remember, I'm the AFC. We are the advocates for children. We put the adults way behind the children. Whatever they were going through, they could have did it and did it to themselves and not involve their children. I would have rather these people found these children in the house by themselves be discovered alive, as opposed to what this woman just dragged these children into the lake and just submerged them like that. I just think that that's the worst thing that you could possibly do. It's the most selfish thing that you could do. And how can you say that you love your kids when you do some crap like that to your kids? And here's another reason why I say she's selfish. This mother cared more about her own love of her ex-husband. She loved him more than she loved her own kids. Don't get mad about what I said. Just tell me if I said something that was factually inaccurate. I'll give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys are watching the video right now, if you would, do me a favor and click the thumbs up. I know some of y'all might not want to after what I just said, but if you would, share this video because we definitely want to share the memory of these babies. If nothing else. Here we go. Let's get it.
A somber night along Vadnais Lake as a community gathers to remember 3 young children and their parents who passed away last weekend. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says it was a suicide, then a triple murder-suicide that took the lives of the family of 5. Fox 9's Mary McGuire spoke with family who are sharing their grief.
Those from the Hmong community and beyond came together to grieve and to heal at a vigil for an entire family now dead after a tragic series of events. Dozens gathered near the spot where children's shoes and the car keys of 23-year-old Molly Cheng were found last Friday on the shore of Vadnais Sucker Lake Park. The parents of those lost spoke through a translator with the Hmong 18 Council, a nonprofit organization started to help the Hmong community after another heartbreaking event when a mother killed her 6 children in St. Paul in 1998.
And I would like to thank each and every one of you guys again from the bottom of my heart. I do not know what to say to the community at this time because it is such a heartbreaking event for me. My grandchildren has always lived with me up until this point, and I do not know what to do anymore.
The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says Chang drowned her 3 children in the lake before taking her own life last Friday, in the hours after her husband, Yi Lee, shot and killed himself. Social workers were called in to help Chang and her kids, but ultimately left them in her care. Family members quickly became concerned she would hurt herself and her children and called the authorities, who were able to track her cell phone to the lake. The bodies of all 4 were recovered from the water. Molly's father says after Lee was found dead, authorities took the time to make sure their dog was taken care of, and he wishes they would have intervened further with his daughter.
I believe that if the police took action like they took action to save the dog and they took action to save Molly and the 3 children, that they would still be alive today.
The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says they are continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding this tragedy to provide further clarity and closure to the family. Reporting in Vadnais Heights, Mary McGuire, Fox 9.
A somber night along Vadnais Lake as a community gathers to remember 3 young children and their parents who passed away last weekend. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says it was a suicide, then a triple murder-suicide that took the lives of the family of 5. Fox 9's Mary McGuire spoke with family who are sharing their grief.
Those from the Hmong community and beyond came together to grieve and to heal at a vigil for an entire family now dead after a tragic series of events. Dozens gathered near the spot where children's shoes and the car keys of 23-year-old Molly Chang were found last Friday on the shore of Vadnais Sucker Lake Park. The parents of those lost spoke through a translator with the Hmong 18 Council, a nonprofit organization started to help the Hmong community after another heartbreaking event when a mother killed her 6 children in St. Paul in 1998.
And I would like to thank each and every one of you guys again from the bottom of my heart. I do not know what to say to the community at this time because it is such a heartbreaking event for me. My grandchildren has always lived with me up until this point, and I do not know what to do anymore.
The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says Chang drowned her 3 children in the lake before taking her own life last Friday, in the hours after her husband, Yi Lee, shot and killed himself. Social workers were called in to help Chang and her kids, but ultimately left them in her care. Family members quickly became concerned she would hurt herself and her children and called the authorities, who were able to track her cell phone to the lake. The bodies of all 4 were recovered from the water. Molly's father says after Lee was found dead, authorities took the time to make sure their dog was taken care of, and he wishes they would have intervened further with his daughter.
I believe that if the police took action like they took action to save the dog and they took action to save Molly and the 3 children, that they would still be alive today.
The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says they are continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding this tragedy.
3 young children and their parents remembered tonight after a tragic series of events led to all of their deaths. The family from Maplewood were all discovered dead last weekend. You may remember the 3 children and their mother were found in Vadnais Lake. Tonight, their loved ones gathered near where they were found for a vigil. Our diva.
The Hmong community came together tonight to honor the memory of a family with a tragic ending. Dozens brought flowers and lit candles for the 3 children and their parents who all died a week ago on July 1st. The father, Yi Lee, died by suicide. The mother drowning her 3 children and herself in Vadnais Lake. Our Marielle Mose spoke to the surviving family for the first time.
Through an interpreter, the father of 23-year-old Molly Chang shared his emotional struggles over losing his daughter, son-in-law, and 3 grandchildren.
My grandchildren has always lived with me up until this point, and I do not know what to do anymore. I'm heart-stricken, and it hurts so much that I do not know what to say to the community.
This memorial was held deep into the woods around Vadnais Lake. The reason the family chose the spot is because the 3 children's shoes were found on the shores there on July 1st. Yer Tao, the mother of 27-year-old Yi Lee, who died by suicide, vocally grieved in front of the pictures of her 3 grandchildren, 5-year-old Phoenix, 4-year-old Quadrillion, and 3-year-old Estella. Other family members and friends laid flowers and candles by the shoreline.
This tragedy has struck me and my grandchildren.
Look, I know I talk about black people naming their kids some wild stuff. I have never heard of a child named Quadrillion. Am I wrong? Have y'all heard that before? Is that a cool name? Is it unique? Is it I don't know what you call that, Quadrillion? And I looked at that and I was like, is that really his name? Quadrillion, okay.
It makes me really stressful, and it makes me sometimes where to the point when I'm so shaken that I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, the pain from these losses will never go away. The grandparents feel uplifted by all the support of their Hmong community and hope their story inspires others who may be struggling to get help before harming yourself and others.
I am relying on my friends and my family and the community at such dark times.
In Vadnais Heights, Marielle Mose, WCCO 4 News.
And if you or someone you know is struggling, please call or text the numbers on your screens.
Through an interpreter, the father of 23-year-old Molly Chang shared his emotional struggles over losing his daughter, son-in-law, and 3 grandchildren July 1st. Members and friends laid
Okay, that video sound is not that great, so I'm going to go ahead and skip it, but it's a little bit more of the same of what they were discussing. They're just pretty much just mourning the loss, and I get that because, like I said, you know, that they feel like that's a part of their community, their family, maybe related in some type of way. But in my humble opinion, the actions that this woman took against her own children, regardless of what her husband did, does not absolve her from what she did. Here's one thing that nobody on the internet is going to call her. Y'all want to know what that word is? Outside of being a bad mother or being a selfish mother, y'all want to know the one thing that they did not refer to her as? Let me hearken back to some of the other stuff that I talk about. I'm not going to turn this into a race thing, but I will say that there is definitely a difference in how the news and media describe certain things, and sometimes it seems to have a little racial connotation to it. But let's just say if this were mom's boyfriend and he turned around and took the kids and went and drowned them and then drowned himself, you caught it. They would have called him a murderer. They would have said this was a murder-suicide. Notice how they didn't say that. They didn't call her a murderer. And I wonder, why not? Is that not what she is? Is that not what she did? Now, the father who killed himself, what do you call that? A suicide. You don't call that murder. He killed himself. Suicide. Self-inflicted. When the mother decides to kill her children because she's heartbroken or whatever effed up reason you want to come up with or rationale, psychologically, she was depressed, I don't really give a damn. This should be classified as this mother murdered her 3 innocent, beautiful children. She's a murderer, and she should be labeled as such. She's not a good person at all, regardless of how she felt about her husband. Because if you felt that strongly about your husband and not your kids, then you shouldn't have had kids in the first place. Ma'am, Hmong. And that's just real talk. Because here on our channel, the Advocates for Children, we put children first, and they should be our #1 priority. To sit there and say that her love caused her to do this is absolute bullcrap, because you could look at a bunch of other situations and say, well, oh, these thugs out here killing these women whenever these women break up with them because they love them so much. But you still call them a murderer, and you still would try to throw the book at them if they were able to get in front of a judge. So I don't think this should be any different. to leave her legacy as a heartbroken mother, I think is flat out BS. I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sympathy for her. I feel sympathy for those children who deserved every opportunity to grow up and be something great. Could have been left with the grandparents, could have been left with cousins, could have been probably left anywhere in that community, and somebody would have picked those kids up and took perfect care of them. This is flat out selfish. That's all it is. But let me know what you guys think. I can almost guarantee you that nobody is going to have that type of thought, that type of commentary on this story. You go and look on YouTube, I can almost guarantee you're not going to find it unless it's after me saying it. I'm going to show you guys something else. When I say selfish, how about this? While they was living in the trailer park, and look, I'm not too good to be living in the hood, because look, I ain't got the nicest place by no means. But I think it's wild how they were living in what they refer to in the article as a trailer park. It's fine. You do what you got to do. As long as the kids are okay, kids are healthy, kids are clean, kids are learning, well taken care of, do what you got to do. They put up a GoFundMe, Chong Lu, that says Chong Li. Chong Li, Chong Li. If y'all ever watch Bloodsport, y'all know where that comes from, Bolo Yeung, Chong Li. That literally says Chong Li. You can't get more stereotypical than that. So Chong Li put up this GoFundMe. My God. Ooh. I didn't even notice this before. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Guys, I did not make this up. Where is my trusty whiteboard? Let me see if I can break that out real quick. Jesus. Oh, man. Let me see if I can get me some good colors up here real quick. If y'all will to take a look right here, y'all can actually go look this up yourself. C-H-O-N-G is what? Chong. L-E-E is what? Lee. Chong Li. So Chong Li set this GoFundMe up. Funeral expenses. Let me ask you guys this. If they were living in a trailer park, why should they get, I don't know, like, it just seems like if this community really cared about these people that much, maybe I guess they would have upgraded them while they were alive as opposed to them being depressed and end up taking their lives. Put $125,000 into the ground, investing into a funeral, but y'all wouldn't invest in these people's houses. You wouldn't have took that $125,000 and got them a nice house. Huh? Y'all wouldn't have bought them a house and a vehicle with $125,000, but y'all would give them the world's most awesome funeral ever. Ain't that something? $125,000, and they've already collected $16,000. So it looks like they're well on their way to collecting. I'm just saying, if you're gonna put up $100,000 GoFundMe, you might as well put up $1 million GoFundMe. You might as well just go all in. See, just see what you can squeeze out of the debts of these children. No pun intended. We won't invest in life insurance, but we will make sure to invest in an amazing death and say all kinds of wonderful things after you're dead. Do you know how they use the colloquialism when they say give you your flowers while you can smell them, right? That means to show people you love them when they're alive. We do more for dead people. I can almost guarantee you that people are going to maybe not everybody. Let me slow down. Slow my roll. But when I die, I can almost guarantee you there will be a couple of people that are going to say some amazing things about me that they wouldn't tell me while I got breath in my body. Isn't that something? And some of y'all can relate to that because it's probably going to happen to y'all too. You're going to get people that that tell you that they love you, they miss you, they wish they could have spent more time with you, wish they would have called you, wish they would have went to go eat with you, wish they would have pulled up to your house and went to go watch a movie with you. They want to do all of that stuff while you're dead, but don't want to do it while you're alive. That's my only problem with GoFundMe. That's it. I'm not against donations. I'm not against GoFundMe. What I'm saying is that it seems like we always jump on board to fund something when we could be funding life and not death. We could be funding the living as opposed to funding and putting money into the ground. It's not going to make those people feel any better. But I think maybe for some of them, it might make them morally feel a little bit better. But hopefully everybody understands what my stance is on that. I just had a lot to say, and I hope y'all will listen with an open mind as well as an open heart on that thought, okay? But thank y'all so much. R.I.P. to those 3 beautiful little babies. So, R.I.P.